Wish you all a happy morning. The session of the day is going to be your sixth unit prose. The name of the prose is The Rule of the Road. Okay, so the rule of the road here in this prose, the author conveys about two things which are very essential in all our lives. He's talking about kind of freedom. In other words, we call it as liberty. Okay, he's talking about two liberties, and they are one of them is individual, the other one is social. When you're talking about an individual personality, it's all about the individual freedom. When you talk about social liberty, it's all about more than a person, a group of people. So you know the meaning of liberty. It's all about freedom, being free to exercise your own wishes. To simplify again, see, if at all you want to sing a song, you wish to sing a song, you feel like singing a song right now. So you can very well exercise, you can very well sing it as you like. Understand? That is your individual liberty. The social liberty, in the sense, when there are more than a person, when there are people around you, the social liberty is in fact guiding us the way to behave in a public platform. Again, giving an example, see, you are at your home, you are watching a television. At the same time, there are neighbors around your home, next to your home. There are people, they are living there in their own homes. Fine. So, what happens right now? We are watching a television where you increase the level of volume. The volume is getting increased because you want to watch it with loud noise, with home theater effect, all sort of gadgets, making use of them. Okay, fine. You can very well say that that's your liberty, that's your freedom. So you want to watch a movie with much effect, sound effect. Okay, fine. At the same time, your individual liberty should not affect the others' liberty, the others' feelings. That is called the social liberty. You must be conscious of. You understand? See, your wish is to watch a television with much noise, okay? That is your comfortable zone, okay, fine. At the same time, your comfortable zone should not affect the other's comfortability. That's what the author tries to convey here. Make sure and understand the differences between your individual liberty and social liberty. When a person understands differences between these two, and there will not be any mistakes, there will not be any pitfalls, there will not be any endangers, there will not be any argument, there will not be any clash. You understand? Unnecessary conversations take place between people. The reason behind is that people fail to understand one's liberty and the social liberty. When these terminologies fail to be understood, and there actually exist sort of problems. So many problems actually occur because of the misunderstanding part of the individual liberty and social liberty. You understand? So, in nutshell, in short, you are expected to understand the meaning of individual liberty and social liberty in a way. It is nothing but individual liberty is one's liberty, that your freedom you can exercise, but at the same time, your wish should not affect the other person. That becomes what? Yeah. When your freedom affects others' comfortable zone, that becomes what? In fact, you neglect the social responsibility, the social liberty. You are traveling by a train where there are so many people. You understand? You like to sing a song. Okay, fine. You can sing a song. At the same time, your singing must not affect others' comfortability, others' comfortable zone. You understand? That is called individual liberty and social liberty. So here in this lesson, the author is giving us a number of examples where he is trying to explain us, making us to understand the differences between these two, individual liberty and social liberty, because this seems to be a real headache, okay, for all of us, where people fail to understand and they simply jump into a lot of conversations, you understand, conflicts. So many unnecessary events take place. So a lot of disturbances. Okay, so as a reader right now, you must understand and you are expected to exercise after having understood the differences between the individual liberty and social liberty. Okay, fine. So with the understanding of these two terminologies, let us get into the lesson. Okay, fine. See the nature of the prose here in this first slide. The author Alfred George Gardiner is one of the most delightful essayists of the modern times. In this essay, The Rule of the Road, he points out what constitutes true liberty. Okay, so you must understand. Okay, see, individual liberty as well as social liberty, both these terminologies have true liberty. Okay, so what is actually a true liberty? What is true liberty? A true liberty where a person or a group of people enjoy or exercise their wishes without disturbing the others' comfortable zone. Understand? Okay. So, so this is where, in fact, this is what, in fact, we were discussing about the self or individual liberty versus social liberty. I mean, these are the two concepts where the conflicts arise. Individual liberty versus social liberty always. Okay, fine. So let us understand in a clear way the meaning part of individual liberty and social liberty. Okay, fine. Let us find out what the author has to say through these two terminologies. Okay, let us move on to the other slide. Okay, so for your better understanding, I have in fact splitted the entire essay into numbers category where you can really understand point wise. Okay, fine. So let us find out what does the first point say. A stout old lady was walking down in the middle of a street in Petrograd, causing great confusion in the traffic. Okay, she is walking. Okay, fine. So let us make it in present continuous or present tense. Okay, fine. Now you find a lady. Okay, a stout lady. Okay, fine. So that's a physical appearance. Okay, fine. So it has got nothing to do with the lesson. Okay, fine. A lady is walking. Okay, where? In the middle of a street, a place called Petrograd. Okay, what is she actually doing? She's actually causing a great confusion in the traffic. She is walking in the middle of a road, middle of a street, in fact. You understand? A person walking in the middle of a street, what happens? There will be so many vehicles moving around, people moving around. What happens when a person is walking in the middle of a street? Just imagine, a lot of confusions will take place. That's what is happening right now. When this was pointed out, the old lady replied that she has the liberty to walk where she likes to roam. See, now people intervene and they are in fact questioning her. Come on, why are you doing like this? You are walking in the middle of a street. That is not the way you are supposed to act. This is not the place, and this you cannot just walk in like this. People try to explain, but what her reply is, come on, it's my freedom to walk wherever I feel like. This is how she explains. So she is talking about the individual liberty, completely having misunderstood the meaning of it. So the lady is saying that, come on, I have got all the rights to walk wherever I feel like. But what is happening right now? She feels like walking in the middle of a street. What happens the moment she walks in the middle of a street? Lot of confusions. Understand? People get disturbed, and of course, there is also I mean, there are in fact ways where she also can be knocked out by a vehicle. Okay, but the old lady does not know that if liberty entitles the foot passenger to walk down the middle of the road, it also entitles the cab driver to drive on the pavement, and the end of such liberty would be a universal chaos. See, here, as a lady, you come on, you are liking yourself to walk in the middle of a street. Okay, fine. Okay, that's your liberty, you say. Okay, fine. If that is the case with a cab driver, a driver, okay, with a vehicle, if he thinks, come on, I too have got a liberty, okay, so I wish to drive a vehicle where? On the pavement, on the pedestrian path, where people are supposed to walk. If he thinks, what happens? Too many accidents will take place, completely what? It will be chaos. You understand? Complete erection, complete disturbances, lot of confusions. Okay. So there are ways to go about. So you understand the meaning of individual liberty and social liberty. Yes, this is one of the incidents where he explains this. Come on, you to have a lot of incidents where the author explains in detail. The author points out that this kind of individual liberty would become a social anarchy, okay, social disturbance, social arrogance. Okay, so a person, an individual, is not expected to act out in this manner. The rule of the road means that in order to preserve the liberties of all, the liberties of everybody must be curtailed, must be followed. The rule of the road means that in order to preserve the liberties, because each and every one of us has our own liberties. You understand? So in that case, all of us have our own freedom. So all of us have their own wishes to exercise. In that case, your wish should not affect others' wish. Okay? Yes, to preserve the liberties of all, the liberties of everybody must be followed. Okay? The next point, one more incident is explaining us with, when the policeman put out his hand at Piccadilly Circus Street, it's the name of a street, okay, we must not think that our liberty has been violated. See, when a policeman, right, intervenes in our way, okay, he stops us, okay, we should not think that, come on, right, my liberty, my individual liberty has been, okay, uh, mishandled or has been taken off by a policeman. We should not think, because if we are a reasonable person, we will reflect that he did not interfere, and hence result would be that we would never cross the Piccadilly Circus Street at all. Okay, because there is an information that a person is not allowed to cross a particular street. It's an ethic, it's a rule, and a policeman does his job. This is what this particular job is expected of a policeman, where he is doing his job. When a policeman interferes, okay, that means he is doing his job. And one more thing is that you are in fact have violated, okay, the rule. You understand? So a policeman, when he is doing his job, we should not think that, come on, a policeman is interfering in our private space. No. When a policeman does his duty, okay, it's his duty. And you also need to understand that particular part. We have submitted to a curtailment of private liberty in order that we may enjoy a social order, which makes our liberty a reality. Okay, we have certain, okay, restrictions. We have certain rules in our society. Okay, so these rules have to be followed, and there are people to observe, to monitor, okay, and make sure that all these rules are in fact followed by us. The author points out that liberty is not a personal affair, but it is a social contract, it is an adjustment of interest. This is one of the most important points where you need to understand. The author points out very clearly that liberty, freedom is not a personal affair, that it is not your personal affair. Anything you can do, no, you cannot do as you wish. Anything can be done, no, that is not your, it has got nothing to do with your personal affair, but it is a social contract, it's your social responsibility he's talking about. You must be responsible. It is at the same time, it's an adjustment of interest. You need to understand others' interests too, based on which you need to adjust, cope up. You understand? Move on. And that's where what happens? You become a real human. Okay, fine. You list out some examples of like wearing a gown and walking down the street, having long hair, walking with barefoot, dyeing one's hair or waxing, going to bed early, getting up late, or few things that ask no man's permission. You understand? So this is all okay uh, exercises which need not be asked of others' permission. You need not ask anybody's permission, right, to receive your hair, to have a haircut, or to having a long hair, walking with barefoot, going to bed early, getting up late. Understand? So that's your individual freedom. Yes. Now you understand. I hope you understand. Okay. Let's move on to the ninth point here. If one practices a trombone from midnight, it's a musical instrument, okay, trombone, until 3 in the morning, on the Hell Valley, no one would ask that. So Hell Valley is a place, okay, no one would ask that. But if we intend to play it in the street, the neighbors will remind us that our liberty to blow the trombone interferes with their liberty to sleep quiet. You understand? So a musical instrument is being played, okay, where there are people, obviously, okay, it makes a lot of noise, people get disturbed. When there is no one, you are in your private space, and that too, right, at from midnight until 3 in the morning, on the, no one would ask, because all would be in a great sleep, in deep sleep. So your musical instrument, playing a musical instrument, doesn't affect. So what is trying to be conveyed here is your interest, your liberty should not affect others' freedom. That's what the author is trying to convey with all these examples. Please do not be misguided, okay, with your individual liberty and social liberty. So try to fix it in a clear cut, in a clear format. Your individual liberty, okay, must not affect the social liberty, others' liberty. The author once got into a railway carriage. He started to read a blue book. He did not read that for pleasure, instead, a humble purpose of turning an honest penny out of them. Since he was reading for a task, he required reasonable calmness, and that is what he did not get. See, as an individual, he's traveling by train, where, okay, he wishes to read a book where he is expecting to have great attention on it, but what is actually happening there, he's not able to concentrate because there are a lot of people who are making such noise. The level, right, the level of noise is in such a way too much, and because of which he is not able to concentrate. So people over there, a group of people, in fact, okay, they violate, okay, they did not follow the liberty over there. It has to be followed, it has to be exercised. When you are in a public zone, okay, when you're traveling on a train, okay, you must understand the ways to exercise yourself, the ways to behave yourself, the ways to carry yourself. That's what he's trying to explain. You must, even if you are in a group, okay, even if you carry yourself in a group, you must understand, come on, right? You should not affect individuals' space. You are, right, more than a single person. You are a group of people. So even you are one among them, you should not, as a group, you should not affect individuals' space, individuals' freedom. That's what he's trying to convey. A couple of men came in the next station. They were talking for the rest of the journey in a loud and pompous voice. The author closed his book and looked out of the window. Come on, see. Hope you understand what he's trying to convey. Here, the author believes that the rights of small and quiet people are as important to preserve as the rights of small national rights. Understand? That's what he's saying. Okay, a single person is responsible. At the same time, group of people also responsible for a single personality. You are in a mob. It doesn't mean that right. You have got all the rights to exercise. No, as a mob, you to have need to what? Observe. You to need to exercise, okay, the level of freedom. You are so many people, right, together. You are four, five, six, seven. As a group, you are there, okay. It doesn't mean that you are so majority, okay. You are high in number, and that means, right, you can do whichever you feel like doing. No, you also need to respect individuals' space, individuals' liberty. So, each and every one of us needs to understand the true meaning part of individual liberty and social liberty. Only with the understanding of these human function, right? All these ethics, rules, and regulations in a society can be very well be followed. Otherwise, it's a real problem for the society, and it becomes what it will end up in a chaos, where we find it a lot of disturbances, too much of headache. Okay, so this is what will happen. So, in order to write, to have a smooth understanding, a smooth functioning of a society where you have a lot of government officials, where there are people like policemen, okay, watchmen, there are people, right, monitoring us, okay, giving us our own space. Yes, you need to understand this also. Hazlitt said that a man wanted to learn that fearsome instrument was entitled to learn it in his house. He can practice with his trombone by shutting the windows. Okay, that's what we were in fact in the previous slide we were talking about. Okay, Hazlitt said that a man wanted to learn. Okay, wanted to learn a a musical instrument. Okay, learn it in his house. He can practice it with this trombone by shutting the windows, by shutting it, because when you open your window, what happens? A lot of noise, okay, and because of too much of noise, what happens? Others get disturbed. Yes, that's what he's trying to convey. Since it is his business, he can make nuisance as light as possible. The same thing applies to a gramophone. If we want to hear, we can hear by limiting the noise, okay, adjusting the noise. The author concludes the essay by saying that we must be a judicious mixture of both anarchist and socialist. We have to preserve both the individual liberty and social liberty. It is in the small matter of conduct, in the observance of the rule of the road, that we pass judgment upon ourselves and declare that we are civilized or uncivilized. These little habits of commonplace intercourse that make up the great sum of life and sweeten or make bitter the journey. So what is trying to convey, right? How he ends this particular essay is that, come on, right? It's all up to us, okay? We need to understand before exercising the individual liberty as well as the social liberty. Once there are problems, once there are misguidings, once there are misunderstandings about these two terminologies, what happens? The society will not be what? Uh, peaceful. A lot of problems will arise. So, in order to understand, in order to have the real human behavior to be followed or exercised, person need to understand, come on, right, this is what my space is, come on, I'm disturbing the other, come on, I need to, right, look after myself, come on, yes, I need to behave properly. So this sort of adjustments also must be there in a society. When there are no adjustments, what happens? A lot of conflicts will arise, too much of arguments. So in a society, we should not allow a lot of negative aspects to come in. This is what the author is trying to convey here. So in order to have a streetful journey, we need to exercise. At the same time, we also need to understand others' space. Okay, understand? So try to understand others' feelings, try to respect others' freedom, try to give value. In fact, you must give value. Okay, come on, right? I'm doing something. This particular something is, of course, I feel that they are getting disturbed. Okay, fine. I must give it up. Okay, fine. So sort of what reciprocatory, right? You give something and you also can get it back something from the others. So you value their relationship, you value others' feelings based on which your acts must be. You must not be so rude. You understand? Yes, that's what the author is trying to convey. So two things might take place. When you understand, come on, you will have a sweet journey. People will be so good. People around you will be so good, so compassionate. But the problem, right, you do not understand others' feelings, what happens? You will not have sweet journey in your life. Rather, you will exercise, you will face a lot of bitter experience, bitter joys, bitter journey. So it's all up to you to take a sweet journey or a bitter journey. ஸோ கிளாஸ் புரிஞ்சிருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இது என்ன அப்படின்னா, அந்த ரூல் ஆஃப் த ரோடு அப்படின்னா வந்து எத்திக்ஸை பற்றி பேசுகிறாரு. எப்படி நடந்துக்கணும் லைஃப்பில், சொசைட்டியில் எப்படி நடந்துக்கணும். எனக்கு ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்குது, கமான், எஸ். தனிப்பட்ட நபராக எனக்கு ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்குது, ஓகே. அதே போல் பார்த்தோம்னா அடுத்தவனுக்கும் ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்குது. எனக்கு ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் என்ன பண்ணக்கூடாது அப்படின்னா, ஒரு ரோட்டில் நடக்கும்போது மிடில் ஆஃப் த ரோட்டில் நடக்க முடியுமா? நான் எங்கே நடக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு என்ன ஆகும்? டிராஃபிக் ஆகும், நிறைய பேருக்கு பிரச்சனையாக இருக்கும். எனக்கு ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் பஸ்ஸில் ட்ராவல் பண்ணும்போது நான் வந்து ஒரு சீட்டில் உட்காராமல் அப்படி ஜாலியாக விரிச்சிக்கிட்டு அப்படியே உட்காந்து அப்படின்னா என்ன ஆகும்? பிரச்சனை வரும். அடுத்தவனுக்கு அந்த ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்குது இல்லையா? ஸோ அதை அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கணும். எங்கே உட்காரணும், எப்படி உட்காரணும், எப்படி நிற்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஒரு லைப்ரரிக்கு போகிற, புக்கு படிக்கிற, எனக்கு ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இந்த பப்ளிக் லைப்ரரியில் போய் நீ போய் கத்தி படித்த அப்படின்னா என்ன ஆகும்? அதை எங்கள் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுறாரு. அப்படி பண்ணக்கூடாது சொல்லிட்டு. அதை என்ன சொல்கிறார், சோஷியல் லிபர்ட்டி என்ன சொல்கிறாரு, நீங்கள் நிறைய பேர் இருக்கீங்க, ஒரு குரூப்பாக வரீங்க அதே லைப்ரரியில், நீங்கள் பாட்டு வச்சுக்கிட்டு அங்கே சிரிச்சுக்கிட்டு பேசிக்கிட்டு விளையாட்டுருந்தீங்க. ஆனால் பக்கத்தில் உட்காந்துருக்கான் இண்டிவிஜுவலாக, அவனுக்கு டிஸ்டர்ப் ஆகுமா ஆகாதா? ஸோ அஸ் எ குரூப்பாக நீயும் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கணும், அது இண்டிவிஜுவலும் அவனையும் அஃபெக்ட் பண்ணுது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இப்படி செய்யக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறார். புரிஞ்சுதா? ஸோ இந்த ரெண்டு டெர்மினாலஜிஸை எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுறாரு. இண்டிவிஜுவல் ஃப்ரீடம்னா என்ன, சோஷியல் ஃப்ரீடம்னா என்ன. ஸோ இண்டிவிஜுவல் லிபர்ட்டி, சோஷியல் லிபர்ட்டி ரெண்டுமே புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு நடங்க. நீங்கள் புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு நடந்தீங்க அப்படின்னா லைஃப் ரொம்ப ஸ்மூத்தாக இருக்கும். ஆனால் மோஸ்ட்லி நிறைய பேர் என்ன பண்ணுறது, புரிஞ்சிக்கிறது கிடையாது. அதனால் என்ன ஆகுது அப்படின்னா நிறைய கான்வர்சேஷன்ஸ், நிறைய கான்ஃப்ளிக்ட்ஸ், நிறைய சண்டைகள், பிரச்சனைகள், ஓகேவா, நிறைய குழப்பங்கள்லாம் வருது. ஸோ அதெல்லாம் தவிர்க்கிறதுக்கு தெளிவாக புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. அப்புறம் இதெல்லாம் புரிஞ்சிக்கிறதுக்கு முக்கியமான விஷயம் என்ன அப்படின்னா, விட்டு கொடுக்கணும். நீங்கள் ஆக்சுவலாக அடுத்தோட ஃபீலிங்ஸை ரெஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணுங்கள் இந்த விஷயத்தை மறைமுகமாக சொல்கிறாருங்க. ஸோ இதோட இந்த எஸ்ஏ முடிஞ்சது. ஸோ புரிஞ்சிருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பாயிண்ட்ஸ் வைஸ் அப்படியே கோ த்ரூ பண்ண. ஸோ இதுதான் உங்களுடைய சம்மரி. உங்களுக்கு ஈஸியாக புரிய ஆரம்பிக்கும். ஓகே, ஃபைன். அப்போ நெக்ஸ்ட்டு கிளாஸில் மீட் பண்ணலாம். ஓகேவா? கிளாஸ் எடுக்கும்போது உனக்கு டவுட் எதாவது இருந்தது அப்படின்னா நீ என்ன பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னா அங்கே கேட்டுக்கலாம்.